Ready?
Recording in progress.
Thank you. Welcome, Adil, for the pre-match press conference ahead of your game against Sri Lanka tomorrow in Sharjah. We are joined by members of the press from the UK and all over the world. So I'm going to just hand it over to Danny to moderate from here on.
Thank you very much. Just as some house rules, if we could just make sure we're all on mute. Priority will be given to the UK media, and we're going to use the chat facility to request a question. So if you have a question, please use the chat facility to request a question. As always with these, we're going to start with Sky Sports News. We've got Jeremy Langdon on the call. Jeremy, over to you. Would you like to go ahead, please? Hopefully you can hear us.
Hello.
Can people hear us? I don't know if
Hello.
Can you hear us okay?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, hear you fine.
Yeah. My question is that, Adil, what are the conditions you are showing?
Excuse me.
This time in UAE as compared to previous times? Any changes you find in UAE as compared to previous days?
Excuse me.
I couldn't hear properly. Sorry.
So let's just start again because it looks like we had a problem with the connection there. Shubham, we'll come back to you in a minute. Can we start again, please? We're just struggling with the audio. Can I just make sure everybody can hear us, first of all?
Yes, hear you fine.
Loud and clear.
Okay, thank you. We were going to hand over to Jeremy Langdon. I don't know if Jeremy is there and he can hear us. If not, we'll go elsewhere. Let's go to David Charlesworth.
Thanks, Danny. Hi, Adil. Thanks for your time. 3 wins from 3. This is the perfect start to the tournament, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. You would say that. Obviously winning first 3 games out of the first 3 in the tournament, sets us up well. But from our side, we're taking it a game at a time. Obviously, whatever's happened now has gone. So we're looking. That's gone. That's in the past. So whatever lies ahead, definitely, our minds are set onto that. We're taking a game at a time. Like I said, now next we got Sri Lanka tomorrow. So our mind, and we're definitely focused on that.
Just one more on yesterday. Were you surprised to open the bowling at all? Or I know you did it obviously in India this year.
No, not really. Myself and Morgs have spoken just over time as well. Some conditions, some circumstances, you maybe required to open the bowling first up. So it wasn't a thing of surprise or whatever. It was just more of a thing of, right, here you go first over, have a go, see what you can do, see if you can try to get a wicket or whatever it is. So it wasn't a surprise at all. No.
Now, obviously, your focus turns this week to Sri Lanka first, then South Africa next weekend, and both at Sharjah. Do you think that's going to be more beneficial to you? I think it's been one of the more spin-friendly grounds during this tournament.
We don't know, obviously, until we get there, until we play there. Every pitch is different, every opposition is different, every ground, wherever, is completely different. So I think once we get there and once we play on the pitch, then we'll really find out, if it's helpful for the slower bowlers or for the pace on. So it depends on what pitch we play as well, if it's a fresh pitch or whatever it is. So it's pretty hard to say at the moment until we actually play there because we've not played there yet. So we've got to see what happens.
After such a commanding win over, your biggest rivals, is it a bit of a challenge to focus on what's next when given the time frame for playing 48 hours later?
Not really. That's part and parcel of the job. That is what we are required to do as cricketers and as professional sportsmen. We take each day as it comes. Whether we play against rivalry or whoever it is, we take our mindset is exactly the same whoever we play against. So, like I say, yes, there was a win yesterday. Our mindset is fresh. We got a positive mindset. We go again tomorrow. Exactly the same thing. There's no, there won't be anything else different in our minds in that sense.
Mm. And yourself and Chris Jordan are the England's 2 leading T20 wicket takers. Do you see yourselves as the leaders of the bowling attack at all?
Obviously we got a lot of experience in this attack with seam and spin. So I think we're all really together as one. We all feed off each other. Everybody has different experiences. Everybody has their own ideas that people want to know and feed off. But like I said, with the experience we've got in our bowling line, everybody helps each other. Yeah, obviously myself and CJ, like I said, with the leading wicket takers. But like we got Chris Wokes there, you got Tim Adams, who's experienced in that sense. You got Moore, you got Woody. So we got a very experienced bowling line where we help each other, as opposed to just myself and CJ telling or just giving information out. So it's definitely was not feeding off each other, because we love doing that. We love helping each other out.
Mm-hmm. And just lastly, when Australia were looking to sort of inject a bit of impetus, I think they'd taken 35 runs in 2 overs. Just how important is it to have someone like CJ who can come in that penultimate over and just check that momentum by going bang bang?
Yeah, definitely. That happens in T20 cricket as well. It's very rarely when you just go through a 20 overs where everything goes your way. You don't get hit for 6s and 4s. You don't have a bad over here and there. So T20 cricket will always, go up and down, go have ups and downs. And to have somebody as the quality of CJ as well. He's proved himself around the world. He's a world-class bowler. To have him bowling at the death as well, whereas it's a hard job as well, but he does it very well. So, but that's T20 cricket. There's going to be times where you get wickets, times where you do bowl as well and you get hit, and that's part and parcel of the game.
Lovely stuff. Thank you.
Thanks, David. Let's go to Lawrence Booth and then Andrew Miller. Go ahead, Lawrence.
Thanks, Danny. Hi, Adil. I just wondered if you can remember anyone striking the ball more cleanly than Josh did last night.
Well, he did strike extremely well. It's pretty hard, but like I say, Josh, he plays many of them innings, and like I say, yesterday he proved it again. The quality of his shots, how he goes about, how destructive he is to the opposition, to any opposition. Australia got world-class bowlers there, fast bowlers as well, but he played really well, and it shows in the class of play.
How would you bowl to him if you had to?
It'd be pretty tricky as well, but depending on what mood he's in. If he's in the same mood as yesterday, it'd be pretty tough. Whoever you're bowling, whether it's myself or whoever, it'll be pretty tough to keep him quiet. So we're very, very, very lucky to have a player like him in our team.
Cheers, thanks.
Okay, Andrew Miller and then Jeremy Langdon. Go ahead, Andrew.
Hi, Adil. Just a quick one about Liam Livingstone. He was talking last night about how blessed he is to work with you and Mo. A guy who can spin it both ways. And he bowling. Obviously, you've had a method of bowling away from the left-hander and right-hander with leg breaks and googlies. He's doing it with off breaks and leg breaks. I mean, he talked about the work he's done with you and Jeets and Mo to sort of pick your brains. I mean, can you tell us a little bit about how impressed you've been with the way he's learned and what tips you've given him about the skill of bowling in matchups? Yeah, definitely.
Livy's definitely come on. He keeps things very simple, which is very good for a spin bowler. He keeps it very simple. He knows his game. Like he said, the game has moved on from probably 10, 15 years ago now, where people are starting to bowl offies, leggies, left-hander comes on, bowling offies, right-hander comes on, bowling leggies. So he's definitely got that skill. And he's definitely got a very clear mind. He's got a good temperament. He's got the skills. And he's determined to improve as well. And like you say, and he's bowled exceptionally well so far as well this tournament. So that's, like I say, for Morgs as well, that's another big plus side for him to have options. There's a lot as a captain, you always want options, and hopefully those bowlers, like I said, with Livy there as well, now giving a lot of options to Morgs. But he's definitely keeping it simple. He's got a good mindset. He's got good skills, and he's shown it in the past couple of games.
And just in terms of those options, I mean, obviously Mo was England's bowler of the tournament, arguably going into the game yesterday. He didn't bowl at all, but that made a lot of sense in a matchup sense. But as bowlers, I mean, how easy is it to accept that some days, the matchups may suggest that you're not going to be the man, and so you just sort of sit in the outfield and chew the fat?
It is what it is in that sense. It's the captain's decision. Whatever the captain decides, we're all happy by it. Whatever decision he makes, we're all for it. So, like you say, obviously, as a bowler, you always want to bowl in a game. You always want to take back. Some days you're not required. Some days not. There's nothing personal to that. It's just the situation of the game. And some days you are. And that's how Morgs works and whatever he sees. And he goes on his instinct.
Fantastic. Thank you.
Okay, let's go to Jeremy Langdon and then Dean Wilson.
Yeah, hi Adil. I mean, obviously Joss has made all the headlines today, but that match was won in the power play, wasn't it? The Aussies 21 for 4. That was what decided it, wasn't it, really?
Obviously, it was a great start. But that's T20 cricket. We can't just say that it was decided on that, because if they were 21 for 4 and then ended up getting 160, 170, you might have said something different then if that was the case. But obviously, to have that start, it definitely puts them on the back foot. It gives us that momentum, gives us that confidence, hopefully in the mindset of, right, we can restrict them to a low score. So obviously, getting 4 wickets, getting 3 wickets in any power play, it puts us in a great position. But we would never take our foot off the gas and say, yeah, 20 for 4, we've won the game. Let's just take it easy in that sense. That game done. No. Because T20 cricket is, it's a funny game like that. Things can change very quickly. In a couple of overs, they can get 20, 30 runs. Momentum goes the other way, and whatever. So we, up top, we were exceptionally well, and I thought we bowled well all the way through.
That win was so crushing, though. What does it say about England's World Cup chances, and what does it do to Australia, do you think?
I think for Australia, I don't really actually know in that sense, in that mind. That's obviously their plans. That's how they deal with that. That's their problem in that sense. But from us lot, like you said, whether we win by 1 run, whether we win by 100 runs, we do the same thing with the same mindset. We come again. We don't look too far ahead. We don't think about winning the World Cup. That is still a long way away. We're not thinking about that. We're thinking about the next game, which is Sri Lanka, and then doing the job there. Then the next game from there. So we go a game at a time, a day at a time. We don't look too far ahead and say, about the finals and stuff.
And just on Joss, in your view, what makes him such a destructive batsman? Because it was beautiful hitting, wasn't it?
Yeah, definitely. He's done that many times over the years. I think, like you say, it's the variety of shots he's got, the power he's got, the fearlessness, putting bowlers under pressure. all this combined makes him into, like I said, probably one of the best players in the world, wide ball batsmen in the world. But like you say, we're very lucky to have him in our team.
Thank you so much.
Okay, we'll go to Dean Wilson and Shubham Madam. So go ahead, Dean.
Yeah, hi, Adil. I just wondered, throughout the 2019 World Cup, we know that you, in a way, were sort of battling a little bit with your shoulder, that it kind of caused you a little bit of discomfort, but you still kind of managed to kind of get through it. Since the break and the strength and conditioning that you've done, is this the best kind of fitness-wise and ability-wise that you're able to play in a World Cup? Are you absolutely firing on all cylinders?
Yeah, definitely. In terms of fitness, in terms of body, I'm 100% fit. From since the 2019 World Cup till now, there's obviously a lot of rehab I had to do, a lot of strength and conditioning. But at this very moment, like I say, I'm fit and healthy, and still obviously looking after myself in terms of going to the gym and making sure that I do the work, not just giving up on stuff. But in terms, like I say, in terms of fitness and in health and in body wise, I'm definitely 100%.
And does that mean that you can really bowl anything and everything that you want to? We saw the googly work quite nicely to Stoinis the other night. Is that part of the benefit of your shoulder being right?
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, benefit of that is being able to just bowl whatever I want, when I want, how I want, what pace, without anything in my mind of any pain or any discomfort of something may go wrong. So it gives me the confidence knowing that my shoulder is good, that I can go out there and bowl whatever I want. Obviously, some days it will go well. So some days it go well, some days it won't. That's T20 cricket. Besides that, it definitely gives me that mindset of, right, I can just actually go out there and try bowl as I want without any thing in my mind of any injuries or anything.
And just to follow up Lawrence's question earlier about bowling to the England batsmen in the nets, I understand that you like to have a bit of a contest with them, and maybe the last ball you bowl, you offer dinner if anyone can hit you for 6. Have you had to dip your hand in your pocket yet?
Yeah, I have actually. With me and Livy, we had one where it was, I think it was 4 or 6 of last ball. He hit me for a massive 6. So that was something that I actually myself enjoy doing. I actually enjoy going in the nets and working like that with the batsman doing his 6 to win, 4 to win, and the batsman's playing, in that situation where it gives the batsmen a bit more to think about. It gives myself as a bowler to think about more. That's just the way how I like to go about things in the nets as well.
What did Livingston? What did Livy choose for his reward?
You know, I actually can't remember. I think it was some kind of sushi or something. It was sushi or something along them lines. I know he ordered a lot more than he usually does. Anyway.
Great, thank you.
No problem.
Cheers, Dean. Let's go to Shubham, please, and then we'll finish with Tim Wigmore. Go ahead, Shubham. Shubham, are you there? Looks like he's gone. We will come back. We'll let's go to Tim Wigmore. Go ahead, Tim.
Hi, Rash. Well bowled yesterday. Just when you're bowling in the power play, what's your sort of game plan and how different is it? Is it sort of harder to grip the ball and stuff like that?
The game plan for my side is very similar whether I'm bowling power play or in the middle. The game plan for me, like I said, this team is trying to be attacking, try create chances, try and make things happen. And that's it, really. And obviously, you got your field set. And if they hit you for a few fours, a few sixes, it's not okay. But, you have that mindset, right? You're creating chances. You're in the team to hopefully create some stuff, make things happen. Put some doubt in the batsman. Was it a wrong gun? Was it a leggy? Is it a slider? Having them doubts. So for my mindset, whether I'm bowling the first over or the latter over, it's similar in that sense. Nothing really changes. Obviously, the odd time you might bowl different lines and lengths, that changes, but the mindset never changes.
And for you, and for you yesterday, had you kind of been told before that you were probably going to open, or did you only find out as you were walking onto the field?
No, you get told before sometimes. Just the captain will give you a bit of a heads up, saying that first over, I'll fancy first over here. Try make some stuff happen or whatever it is, and then you go there and you try to do that. So it's not like a thing of right, you're walking on the pitch and the captain says, right, you're bowling first over, so it's a bit of a shock to you in that sense. Obviously, they give you a bit of notice so you can get your mind around it of how you're going to go about it.
So was that like the previous day or just the day of the game that you were told?
Yeah, like I said, sometimes the day, sometimes it's the previous day. So it all depends in that sense. But it's never a thing of just walking onto the pitch 5 minutes before we play and then saying you're going to have a first ball. It's obviously planned before that. So like I said, the same day or day before.
Just finally, how much have you worked with Liam on his bowling specifically, his leggies?
Myself, Liam, Mo, Jeets, we're all working and helping each other in that sense. So it's not just myself and Mo and Jeets helping. Really, we're always feeding off each other. We're always learning from each other in different ways. You always pick things up. And we're just discussing and we're all willing to learn and get better. That's the ultimate aim for all of us is to learn and get better and better. And that's why, like I said, we enjoy bowling together because we're all helping each other and wanting each other to improve.
Cheers, Tim. Okay, last question from Sayak at the Telegraph. Go ahead, Sayak.
Hi, Adil.
Yeah.
So, Adil, I just wanted to know that, what are the kind of adjustments that a spinner needs to make, especially when you have to bowl on these UAE conditions?
I think, like I said, wherever you play, whether it's the UAE, Australia, England, every conditions are different. So, and some conditions you may have to bowl a bit quicker, a bit slower, whatever. That depending on the day. But I think ultimately, as a spinner, each spinner wherever you are in the world has their own strengths. Some spinners like to bowl it quick. Some spinners like to bowl it a bit slower. So ultimately, I think it's that way where you stick to what you've been good at or you've been successful at. And then from there, you probably adjust a bit. Is it a bit quicker? Is it a bit slower today? Then you adjust what it is for the day, and that's how I gauge it like that. But definitely, each condition you bowl, it may vary, but ultimately you do stick to your strengths first, and then you can just. I think as time goes on, you can figure out what is it. Is it a bit quicker? Is it a bit slower? Or what is required on that pitch?
Are there any specific areas that that so far you have been focusing on?
No, nothing really. It's the same thing, but obviously getting better at that. So like the leg spin, the googly, the slider, the variations that I bought, it's getting better and better and trying to improve that day by day. Some days it comes out well, some days it doesn't. That's T20 cricket, that's cricket itself. But it's definitely going in the nets and working hard and trying to just repeat, get better, improve it day by day. In that sense, in that way.
Okay, thank you so much.
It looks like we have Shubham back, which is good news. Shubham, you've got the last question. Go ahead.
Yeah, my question is to Adil. Like, what do you think the impact of dew is too much in this tournament? Like, how is it affecting too much when teams are bowling for a second?
To be fair, at this moment in time, we have not experienced that as a team. Any dew yet? Last night we didn't experience any dew. The West Indies we didn't experience any dew. So I think it's different because I only can talk from our experience and when we've played. When we have played so far, we've not had any dew or anything like that. But maybe like say other games there is dew and whatever. So I can't really speak on that sense if it's how the game will turn out or if it's fair or whatever, because I only can speak from what we have gone through and what we have experienced this tournament so far. And that is, we haven't really experienced any dew from our side. Like I said, maybe other teams have, but we haven't. So it's pretty hard for me to speak about that and say it's fair or unfair because we've not experienced that.
Okay, I think we're done. Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you.
That concludes the Adil Rashid press conference, and we look forward to speaking to you soon. Thank you.
Cheers, guys. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Recording stopped.